Live from Arkansas' streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us on THV 11 Plus. I'm Hayden Balgavy.
And I'm Karen Fuller.
And I'm meteorologist Tracy Bean. Ashley King is out this week, so I'm doing traffic once again, but luckily today it has been a little bit easier.
First 2 days were kind of nuts.
They were, and it wasn't because of accidents. We had road construction,
right.
And it was backing things up, going from 3 lanes down to 1.
And then people taking other exits because they saw your report
made
and knew to go the other way.
Secondary backup, and it was a bit of a mess. But I thought maybe we're going to have that this morning, but they cleaned up quickly and got out of there. It unraveled, thank goodness. So this morning, traffic-wise, we are doing well. We are seeing, of course, the usual slowdowns this morning as we're seeing the 7 o'clock hour, but overall things are doing pretty good. Taking a look here at downtown, coming in on 6:30. We've got a nice sunrise. That heat is going to start barreling in here before long. So again, just make sure you are staying hydrated, and that drive isn't going to be too bad, and that drive's going to be even better as you're heading into the weekend because I've got some good forecast numbers for you. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our weather. Today we are really focusing on the heat, but also talking a lot about that earthquake that happened. Now, I've talked a little bit about this at the end of the show. I was already ready to speak to it. That earthquake that did happen was around an 8.8, and these are the recorded across the globe since 1900. So again, looking at the top 6, well, it ties here with this area in Chile back in February of 2010 of that 8.8. So that's why we're seeing this bigger concern for this, because this is a major earthquake. So again, so far I don't think there's been too much going on, but the team's going to talk a little bit more about that tsunami predictions that they are seeing and the flooding that is already starting to happen. But here at home, we are talking all about these heat alerts, heat advisory for the majority of the state. Eastern Arkansas does have that extreme heat warning. That's going to be from noon until 8, and I think we'll see some heat advisories for tomorrow as well. But right now it is 82 degrees. That heat index already feeling it, 89 out there. A little breeze, not doing much for us. It's around 3 miles per hour, but it is moving things around just a little bit. Your planner for today does include those highs in the upper 90s. We could see 98, 99, and that heat index again around 110, give or take, just depending upon where you are in that cloud cover that is out there. Around the state, as far as those heat index goes, we're all starting to feel that a little bit. Pine Bluff, Stuttgart, again here in Little Rock. We'll talk more about that cooling trend heading our way. I think you're going to like it. It includes some 80s for Friday and Saturday in our forecast.
Our number one priority is to get people to safety. So get out of the tsunami zones. Right now, it's an easy thing. Get away from the beaches, get inland, and get upward.
Hawaiian officials preparing for the worst after one of the largest earthquakes in history strikes off Russia's Pacific coast.
Overnight, though, the warnings and the anxiety over it all turned out to be far worse than the actual impacts. Take a look. This is a live look at a flooded parking lot in Hilo, Hawaii, right along the ocean front. And the fact that this is the most visible impact in the U.S. is actually reassuring.
This morning, tsunami warnings still remain in effect for Hawaii, Alaska, and America's West Coast. Jared Hill has the latest.
In Honolulu, a scramble to seek higher ground. Waves crashed on empty beaches as warnings echoed.
The roads are full, people trying to move. We ask you to stay calm, cooperate, and get to high ground.
We decided to go to elevated ground, and it's kind of just where it's taken us so far. We've passed a couple other gas stations that you can't even get in them.
Tsunami warnings and alerts were issued from Hawaii to the entire west coast of the U.S. after an 8.8 magnitude earthquake hit off Russia. Officials warned waves could reach up to 10 feet, prompting boats to head out to sea.
So far, we have not seen a wave of consequence, which is great relief to us.
Hours earlier, a tsunami more than a foot high was detected in over a dozen parts of Japan. Officials warned bigger waves are possible. Some people sought safety on the tops of buildings. The massive earthquake that triggered the waves shook furniture in far eastern Russia. Emergency responders rushed to a damaged kindergarten after the front of the building collapsed. No children were reportedly inside. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Dozens of strong aftershocks came in the hours after the initial quake, some as high as magnitude 6.9. But so far, there have been no reports of injuries this morning.
Now to a THV 11 update. This morning, we are learning more about the gunman who carried out Monday's deadly shooting in Midtown Manhattan. Police say 27-year-old Shane Tamora drove from Las Vegas to target the NFL headquarters. Investigators say when he entered the high-rise that houses the league's offices, he shot 4 people in the lobby, including a police officer and a security guard. He then got into the wrong elevator and ended up on the 33rd floor. Now there, he killed one final victim before taking his own life. Officers later found a note in his wallet blaming football for CTE and accusing the league of hiding the dangers. Tamora had a history of mental illness and once told police he was suicidal. Nevada law didn't allow officers to revoke his gun permit based on that alone. Mourners gathering in New York City last night to honor the victims, including the NYPD officer who was killed.
Here at home in Little Rock, 2 men are in jail after police connected them to a murder investigation. It began Monday when police were called to the Westbridge Apartments on Labette Manor Drive a little after 3:30. They found a victim dead in the parking lot. Police have not yet identified who that was. The suspects, though, are here on your screen. 22-year-old Travian Howard is charged with capital murder. He is still in jail pending a $500,000 bond. 19-year-old Jamar Perkins also charged with capital murder. He's pleaded not guilty and has a review hearing September 29th. Perkins had been out on bail after an arrest earlier this month for gun and drug possession.
We are learning new details after a North Little Rock City employee dies on the job. Police responding Tuesday afternoon along Bradburn Road. They're now confirming the employee worked for North Little Rock Electric and saying it looks like they may have come in contact with high voltage power lines. An autopsy will confirm the exact cause of death. The name of the employee is not being released. Developing this morning, Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin is joining forces with several other states in a push to block the shipment of abortion pills into states where abortions are banned.
Now Griffin is calling on Congress to crack down on abortion pill shipments coming into Arkansas. THV 11's Tamer Knight has more on the Attorney General's new push. Good morning, Tamer.
Well, good morning, Karen and Hayden. It's been over 3 years since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, clearing the way for Arkansas to enforce one of the strictest abortion bans in the country. Attorney General Griffin says illegal abortion pills being shipped into Arkansas is a growing concern. Griffin joined 15 other attorneys generals in signing a multi-state letter urging lawmakers to override what are known as shill laws in pro-abortion states. That's laws that aim to protect companies or providers who send abortion pills into states like Arkansas where the procedure is illegal. The AG's office also sent 4 cease and desist letters to 2 companies accused of shipping or advertising abortion pills to Arkansas and 2 more to domain service providers hosting websites that promote the pills. Griffin says this isn't just about pushing a federal ban, but rather giving states like Arkansas the legal tools to enforce their own laws.
In many cases, target Arkansas. They know that abortion is illegal in Arkansas, and so they market to Arkansans through their website, and they indicate that these abortion pills can be made available to Arkansans in Arkansas.
The Attorney General's office says violators could face a $10,000 fine per violation if they don't comply. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders and several other pro-life organizations have voiced support for Griffin's action. We'll have a link to the full letter that Griffin and the other attorney generals sent to Congress on THV11.com. For THV 11 News, I'm Tamer Knight.
Happening today, the Federal Reserve is set to announce its latest decision on interest rates.
Anytime a decision is being made is always big news, but as Amy Kiley reports, today's vote might be getting even more attention than usual.
He's a lame duck at this point, Powell.
The Federal Reserve is expected to hold rates steady today, despite objections from President Donald Trump. He says either the board should approve cuts or Fed Chair Jerome Powell should resign. Lower interest rates make it more affordable for Americans to borrow money, but economists say they can cause inflation. Powell says that's already a concern due to tariffs. The Yale Budget Lab predicts Trump's new ones this year could result in a 0.5 percentage point drop in real GDP growth.
Those losses mean about $2,700 in increased prices for consumers. Those losses mean fewer jobs in this country and less growth in this country.
Despite numbers like those, Trump is demanding rate cuts. His pressure campaign involves a visit to the Fed headquarters last Thursday. He argues its ongoing renovations are too expensive, and he blames Powell. Many analysts say investors want the chair to make decisions based on data, not politics.
If the numbers don't give him the ammo to go out and cut wildly the way Trump does it, it would be hugely reckless. The markets would immediately come back and say, whoa, what's going on here? We're seeing the full politicization of the Fed on the largest economy on the planet.
Trump says he probably won't try to fire Powell. The chair's term ends in May.
There's only so much he can do between now and then.
Well, I'd love him to lower interest rates.
Amy Kiley, THV 11 News.
Now let's turn back to Tracy with a check of the roads this morning.
Well, roads are good this morning. It is starting out to be a warm morning, but again, we're not seeing any delays or traffic this morning to really slow you down. No accidents, so that's good news. Everything is moving smoothly. We're taking a look at the folks coming in from the North Terminal interchange into downtown Little Rock. Again, moving really nice this morning. Let's take a look at those drive times this morning. If you're coming from Conway, moving really nice at 68 miles per hour. That average speed taking about 25 minutes. Interstate 30 from Benton, just over 60 miles per hour, about 19 minutes. And if you're coming in from Cabot on 57, we do have about a 20-minute commute. So overall, not too bad this morning. Again, stay safe, and I'll keep you updated on that. And then also, we're going to talk a little weather as well. That 3-day forecast isn't looking too bad. We are looking at a heat advisory today, and that high around 98. But we're going to start to see some rain showers pushing in later tomorrow. Still looking for a high around 96, so I do expect a few heat advisories across the state as well. But as we're heading into Friday, we're going to see a few of those isolated showers, and that's right, a high only around 90 degrees. It is going to be much nicer out there. The rain chances are going to increase, as I mentioned, tomorrow and through Friday, and then we're just going to see those spotty showers for those pop-up summertime showers as we're heading through the rest of the week. But temperatures are this main story that we really want to focus on. Again, we've got some hot air that we're going to be dealing with for today and tomorrow, but then things really simmer down as we're heading into Friday, where we're looking for that high around 90. We'll even see a few areas that are going to have highs in the 80s, so maybe even the 70s in the extreme northern portion of the state. But Saturday, lots of us are going to see those 80s for highs, and then we will have this steady warm up as we're heading into next week, but it's manageable in those lower 90s because it's going to feel so much better as well. That drier air is pushing in, and the less humidity we're going to have to deal with. We'll talk more about this and the chances for the rain and time that out a little bit for you coming up.